Greetings people, Paul here, Greenshire Homestead. Going to show you today how to take cuttings from a grapevine and root them to make more grape plants. We bought a single grape, it's a Concord, at the nursery. I planted it a couple of years ago, and last year I took some cuttings from it, and I took 3 cuttings from it and rooted them, and so we've got 3 grapes in this bed here now. And then this year the vines have grown quite a little bit, so when I did the cuttings, I got 6, and I wanted 3 for the bed over there. And I took 6 cuttings and I rooted them, and I figured maybe half of them would actually take. Well, they double cost me and all 6 of them took. So now I need to dig another grape bed because I've got 6 cuttings and I put 3 in each bed. So I'm real happy about it, but it's created me additional work. And this is not the time of year to take cuttings, but I'm going to do it just for the demonstration here. I took these cuttings back in, I pruned the grapes back in the last week of February, which is about the time you want to do it. You want the plants to be completely dormant, but you want spring to be coming pretty close. So that's why I do it in the last week of February. And as you can see here, where these cuttings took, we got some nice leaf growth here. This one down here is popping too, but all 6 of these have rooted, and the roots are still small, but these are growing, and 3 of which I will plant in that bed there, and then 3 of them I will put in larger pots, more like the size of this one here, and then after I get the 3rd bed dug and they get a little more growth on them, I'll plant them in the 3rd bed. So the things you'll need: good pair of pruners, a good sharp knife. So you need some rooting powder or rooting that comes in either liquid or powder. I prefer the powder. You need a little pot of water, and then you need your potting mix. What this is 50% good quality potting mix, which I use the Coco Loco, and then compost, my home raised compost. Then you'll need some water, and then of course your pot. So I'm going to take some of the potting mix, put it in the bottom of the pot, and that pot has got about 1 inch of soil in it. Don't fill the pot all the way up, just put about 1 inch in the bottom, and I'll explain that here in a minute. Now I'm going to take my cutting. I've got my grapevines here, they're growing along the wires, and this particular one here is growing perpendicular from the vine, so I'm going to go ahead and take that cutting. So I just snip that off, and now comes the important part. So what we have here, these little bumps here are nods. They're little nodules, and from those is where the grapes are going to bud. The leaf joints are going to come out there, and then also whatever's down in the soil, that's where the roots are going to come from. So we're going to take our knife, and we don't want to lay it at an angle because we don't want to take off too much product at a time. I'm going to lay it on its side, and I'm just going to shuck the bark off of this until we get down to the green portion. Now you don't want to shuck the nodules off, so you want to be careful when you're working by the nodules, because you want to make sure you don't shuck those off of there, and you don't want to go too deep. So just keep working at it like this, and then what we're looking for is that green. You can see the green under there, that nice green, healthy surface. And then once you got down to that green, you want to get all this fuzz off, because we don't want anything in there that's going to promote disease. Get moldy and start promoting disease. So we've got a nice area, surface area there where the plant can take up moisture. Now we're going to dip it, drop it into that water. You don't need to let it soak for overnight or any of that kind of thing. We just want to get it wet, because we're going to put it in the powder here, and it's not going to stick to the cutting unless it's wet. So got it down in the powder there. You can see it's nicely coated on there. put it in our pot, just sitting on top of the soil that I added already, and then we're going to backfill around it. By doing it this way, we're keeping the powder from coming off of the cutting while we got it in the pot. If we just shoved it down in there or made a hole and shoved it down in there, we're going to knock a lot of that powder off. So by doing it this way, we've got plenty of powder on there yet, and we backfill around the stem rather than shoving the stem down into the soil. Take our jug of water, give it a good drink, let that water soak down in, give it another good drink. Got that. So the cutting is now in the soil. The other important aspect of this is you're going to want to put this into the greenhouse or the sun or something, because it's a plant and it's supposed to get sun. We don't want to do that because this cutting doesn't have any roots on it, and it's going to get all dried out and crusty if we leave it in the sun. These I put all these in the basement. And I didn't put them right in the window where they got direct sunlight. I put them off to the side of the window. So they had light, but they didn't have direct sunlight. Now these have all taken root because they have good growth on them. So I can start putting them out in the sunlight. I'll put them out in the day in direct sunlight for maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. And then I'm going to move them back into indirect sunlight, into a shady area where they're going to get dappled sunlight. And so then when it comes time to planting them, I'll let them get a little more growth on them. I want all of these to open up real nice and have leaves all over them. Then I know that I've got a good root structure in there, and then I'll plant them in my bed. And the other ones I'm going to put in the bigger pot and let them get more root growth while I dig the other bed, because I'm not going to dig that other bed for probably another month or so. I've got a lot going on. So I'm going to probably wait another month till I dig that bed, and they'll have these. I'll probably let grow for another month before I put them in their permanent bed, and then a month after that, after I get that other bed dug, I'll put these in their permanent bed. So it's all about timing. You don't want to rush the cuttings. You want to let them get some good structure and you know, top growth. That way you know you got good leaf growth, and you know, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's that simple. Just get the bark off, down to the green, get your rooting hormone on there, get it in the soil, good quality soil, water it down good, and then leave it in the pots until you know you have good root growth, and that's by the amount of growth that you have on the top. Your root growth is going to equal your top growth. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.